uniform, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out and whip your teeth out. You know that? If I give you one punch, I'll knock all your teeth out.
We've got people.
I don't know why you're getting aggressive.
Bro, come across the road now because you're trying to mess with our money, bro.
I'm not trying to mess
I'm
with
gonna
your
show
money.
you what time it is. Come now.
Nah, do your thing,
If I
man.
call a police officer for you, he'll fuck
Yeah?
you up, you know.
Why would a police officer fuck me up?
Because we work with them and you didn't know that, did you? So
Watch this. The more aggressive of these two men reaches over to his colleagues to switch off his camera, switches his own camera off, and only once both cameras are off does he step in and start threatening the man in front of him.
What I was gonna do? This guy, fam, coming man, no, it's off. What do you mean? Don't butt in my business.
Listen, you know what you're doing, Ak. You know what you're doing.
Don't call me Ak, fam.
You know what you're doing.
now you're trying to mess with our money.
I'm not messing with your money.
I'm gonna show you something right now. Come to the alleyway right now. We'll just show you what time it is.
To me, that sequence is the whole story. You switch off the record first, and then you do the thing you didn't want recorded. Here is why it's worth your time. I took this exact footage and gave it to the same kind of AI tool that screens job candidates. It rated his delivery strong, eye contact 5 out of 5. It scored him low overall, but not for the threats. It marked him down for not using the right interview format. When this clip went viral, thousands of people asked the same questions. How did these two ever get the job? Who interviewed them? These are the right questions, and they are the ones I work on. I spent 17 years in tech at Microsoft and Boeing, including 8 years building AI systems. I hold US patent in predictive AI and a master's in data science from Harvard. And I'm a certified nonverbal intelligence expert. I laid out the 5 questions every HR leader should ask before trusting these tools in a published article. And this footage is what those questions look like tested against something real. So I'm going to do 2 things. First, I read this the way I read people. Then I show you what the machine did with the same footage. Let's start with what most people saw. 2 enforcement officers in uniform, an argument on a public street, threats, a viral clip, thousands of comments calling them clowns. Watch the bodies instead. One man initiates. The more aggressive of the 2 switches off both cameras, and the moment the record is gone, he is the one who charges the hardest. His colleague actually settles, but this man keeps escalating like he's enjoying it and leveraging this moment.
I was gonna do.
Oh, what were you gonna do then?
I don't need to tell you what I was gonna do. This guy, fam, coming man, no, it's off. What do you mean? Don't butt in my business.
Listen, you know what you're doing, Ak. You know what you're doing.
Don't call me Ak, fam.
You know what you're doing.
Now you're trying to mess with our money.
I'm not messing with your money.
I'm gonna show you something right now. Come to the alleyway right now. We'll just show you what time it is. We're gonna show you what time it is, bro. We're gonna make sure you can't work no more and earn no money because you're trying to butt in with our money. And bruv, do you know what I do to people like that? Come here now. Come, let's go.
Why would I come there?
Come, you pussy.
Why would I come there?
Brother, don't come in the business.
I swear, when I'm not in uniform, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out and whip your teeth out. You know that? If I give you one punch, I'll knock all your teeth out.
We've got people.
I don't know why you're getting aggressive.
Bro, come across the road now because you're trying to mess with our money, bro.
I'm not trying to mess
I'm
with
gonna
your
show
money.
you what time it is. Come now.
Nah, do your thing,
If
man.
I call a police officer for you, he'll fuck
Yeah?
you up, you know.
Why would a police officer fuck me up?
Because we work with them and you didn't know that, did you? So
I
come
did know
across the
that,
road
though.
now
I
because I'm
did
gonna
know
show
that.
you what time it is.
Alright,
Come
cool.
across the road.
So
'cause
can
I'm
I
showing
ask you a
what time
question
it is.
then?
Bruv, I ain't having no one disrupt my job, you know. Do I come and disrupt your money when you're painting and fucking decorating, you waste
No.
money?
Alright, cool. Okay, let me ask you
I'll
then.
come and throw you through the fucking walls, bruv, and put paint all over you, bro.
He closes the distance, squaring up, stepping into someone's space, provoking another man and encouraging him to respond in escalating manner. These are not idle moments. They are what a body does when it's getting ready to use itself. And listen to where he keeps trying to go. Come across the road. Come to the alleyway. He's not asking for a conversation. He's probably trying to move this somewhere with no camera and no witness. Let me name those signals so we can have a read instead of just a feeling. Switching off the camera first is concealment. It tells you he knows what is coming is not something he wants on record. The alleyway is special control, moving the encounter to ground he chooses away from witnesses. If I call a police officer, he will deal with you because we work with them. That is borrowed authority, leaning on an institution to make a threat heavier than it's on its own. Closing the distance and stepping into his space is the body pressing its advantage. And now the machine. Here is the gap, and it's wider than you would believe. The tool was not blind. In its own written feedback, it called his tone aggressive, called the alleyway line highly inappropriate, called his statements threatening. It saw it, it wrote it down, and then it treated all of it as a tone to soften and even offered him a politer phrase he could have used instead. The overall score, 20 out of 100, was set by interview structure. He lost his points for not telling a tidy career story. 1 out of 5 on structure. 1 out of 5 on listening. Not 1 point came off for the threats it has just described. So potentially, if someone during the interview starts aggressive but a well-structured story, they can score high. So the failure is not that the machine missed the danger. It's that nothing it noticed about the danger changed the number it was given for this performance. And if you ask where you could trust that number, the tool answers for you. I ran the identical file through it twice. It reported his speaking pace at 392 words a minute one time and 349 the next. Same recording. On the emotion read, the tool split this one man into 3 separate phases, called the two of them neutral, while its own voice model on the same footage came back as 69% angry. So calm face, angry voice, from one tool reading one moment. It couldn't even count how many men were right in front of the camera correctly. A score that is not reproducible is not a measurement. It's a guess with a number on it. And here is the power dynamic, and it runs 2 ways. On the street, the uniform gave these men authority, and the behavior abused it, right down to borrowing the authority of the police to make a threat land harder. But the tool holds power too. It decides who moves forward and who gets cut during the job interview. And here it used that power on the wrong signals. It rewarded fast, fluent, dominant delivery, which is exactly this man's register, while staying indifferent to what the delivery was for. The people who score lower against that same baseline are the ones who speak with deliberate pacing and plain, direct answers. Experienced professionals, non-native speakers, neurodivergent candidates. And notice what the public saw that the tool couldn't. Person after person asked how these two were ever hired. People who said they had done these jobs described constant pressure to issue tickets, pressure from the employer, not just the individuals. But here is the mechanism that lets someone like this get hired in the first place. The tool produces a clean-looking readout. Confident, assertive, eye contact, 5 out of 5. A human reviewer sees those green marks, trusts them, and moves the candidate forward without ever asking what the score was actually measuring. That is the difference between a real review and a rubber stamp. Real review would question the score. A stamp just passes it along. So what does this mean for you? If you hire a tool like this, is scoring your candidates right now on whether they performed an interview format, not on whether you would want them anywhere near your building. And you are the one who has to defend those scores. If you have ever sat in front of a camera for a job interview, a tool like this may have already decided something about you, and you never knew why. I ran this same tool on 3 of the most successful business people alive. Warren Buffett scored 30, Elon Musk 28, Mark Zuckerberg 25. This man, or these men, since the tool has trouble counting in this shooting, scored 20. Those people who could not be more different inside 10 points of each other. That is not the tool seeing something real. It is the tool grading delivery and interview format. And on those surface markers, a man making threats and a respected investor sadly look about the same. What it never scores is what anyone can see in a second: the judgment, the intent, whether you would want this person in the role at all. I broke that down in another video, link in the description. Normally, you cannot catch a tool like this being wrong, because whether someone is a good hire is a judgment call, and a bad score just blends into a reasonable disagreement. This footage is different. Nobody is debating what this man is. So the tool's failure is out in the open. At the job interview, usually it's not, because the score arrives looking like a fact. And the number that looks like a fact is hard to argue with, even when you should. That's real risk. Not that the tool is wrong sometimes. Everything is wrong sometimes, people included. The problem here is that the tool is wrong in a way that looks objective, so no one questions it. So before you trust the next scorer, ask yourself this: if a tool can describe a man making threats and still score him on whether he used the right interview format, what is it missing in the people you hire? I laid out all 5 questions in the article linked below. If you want to see whether your own process has any of the 12 structured gaps that tune high-volume hiring into high-risk hiring, the free diagnostic is there too. And if any of this lands close to home, I offer a 30-minute call. If this breakdown was useful, please subscribe and tell me in the comments, would you trust a score when you don't know the reasoning behind it? I'm Tatiana Teppoeva. I study what authority looks like in the moments when the official story and the body don't match. This was one of those moments.